Alright, so now that we're going to look at the cement on the steps and this masonry work to kind of match the overall look of these. So one thing I do stress out is color. Okay, color is important. Seen some pretty bad stuff in my time. Well, keep in mind, you know, like cement isn't pink, and I've had students try to be very unique about, let's say they say it's graffiti or whatever, but you have to kind of keep this stuff within a relative color scheme with each other to make it look good. That other stuff, that I call that decals. Okay, so I'm just going to put these pieces next to each other, so when I do choose some kind of texture, I want to make sure that it kind of matches the brick. And certainly I can do that in Photoshop too, but at least here I can kind of judge it face value. Alright, and if I remember right, we stumbled upon this. This is a nice texture. I'm going to grab that again, copy it, and then bring it into Photoshop. I'll go with a new document, 2048 by 2048. Okay, and I already know the size of the brick. Okay, so I'm going to be using that brick as almost the scale for everything else as far as textures is concerned. And how can I do that? Well, if I do one of these, say I just grab a few bricks and go edit, copy, merge, and then go back over to here and paste those in. Alright, so here's the brick and here's cement next to it. And if you zoom in, you'll see that the cement, let's say if this was in the grout lines, what would this be? This would be way too big, right? So I would need this to be a lot smaller in order to fit within those grout lines. Okay, there we go. Now, the one thing bad about this texture is it does have a pattern going across it. Let me look for another one that doesn't have quite that pattern. And I think it's called is it fortified cement? Texture. Forgot the texture. Okay, nothing within 10 megapixels. Oh, I love this look right here. That's amazing. Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, so let's look for, in fact, I'll leave it alone. I know where it's at. Fortified cement. Okay, rock cement, maybe? Oh, there it is. Now get within the higher megapixels. Yep, that's it. And then you have to kind of look for something within the era of that. This looks really good. I like this. Copy that. Paste it here. I would say this is a lot lower res. I think we can sharpen it to help it out. But keep in mind, this stuff's going to be so small that nobody's going to see each pebble. So I'm just going to sharpen that one time, and that looks pretty good. Alright, now same thing applies. You just take and do the same trick I showed you to begin with, and you tile out this texture until you have enough of it to work with. And for this one, you could go like this. Okay? And what that'll allow you to do is put, by using Alt, you can copy it over and over and get it to kind of match up. You can also tilt it every once in a while. And then after the fact, we can worry about fixing up some of the repeating pattern. Generally, I do this for a few, then hit Control E a bunch of times. Hide these bricks, they're in my way now. Then I'll just take a few seconds with the patch tool to click and drag these around until I get rid of the lines. Do this zoomed out. Do not do this zoomed in. Okay, click and drag that. This time I'll flip this around. Put that at the bottom maybe. I see one little area that I have to kind of patch up. Okay, take the clone stamp tool, just get this little stuff right here. Okay, now the really cool stuff. So Control E down, and then take and duplicate it, and shift it. Okay, then take your eraser tool, and every once in a while hit it. You can use a bigger eraser if you want, but this will kill that pattern that's in it. Alright, pretty cool. I want to add some different contrast to it, so what I'm going to do is add this and go to soft light, and that will kill the monotony, and now I have a better texture, more unique texture to it. Cool. I would say this needs to be toned down so the scale fits. And let's go save as, and save it as my TGA. We'll call it cement color map. And then we'll drag that into Maya. Okay, so there's my cement. I actually did it twice. I'll clean that up later. Here's my material. I'm going to go make a new material. I'll click on that material and map it out. So it's down here in my sandbox. And middle mouse button, click and drag that to my color. You know, it might be a good opportunity right now is when you right click on this and rename it. We'll call this one cement. Right click on this one. Rename it brick. And right click on this one and rename it UVs. So now I don't have a bunch of these hanging around. So pieces I can get rid of. Lambert one I cannot. And this one I can probably get rid of. There we go. Okay, cool. That looks a lot neater. Alright, so let's drag this onto it. Drag this onto it. And you can see that that scale fits pretty well. I don't like the color next to each other. It's just something about it. It just needs to be a little bit more red or something in that area. Okay, so what I'll do is turn on my bricks again. I generally do this. I'll steal some of this brick text color, and then I'll take a brush, again using my a textured brush, and every once in a while hit it with this color. Okay, then I'll choose like soft light and tone that down. oil painters used to do this all the time by using thin layers of oil and paint mix. This unifies color and does a really nice job. So TGA, color map, update it, back to Maya, right click, reload it, and see how much better that looks. Just that little bit of tint to it. Alright, well, now on to the next texture. We'll look at what a wood texture would look like on this stuff, and that's in the next video.